Good afternoon. Welcome once again to the Gain Line, Wales Online's live Rugby World Cup show here on Facebook. Plenty on the agenda today as we talk Wales team selection, the influence of Stephen Jones, and we look at what may happen in those World Cup pools that are too close to call. Before that, though, Wales have held a press conference overnight where Neil Jenkins has given the latest fitness news. Here's what he had to say.
Just a few bits of team news. We've got a couple of days rest now. The squad's still fully fit from that Australia win.
Yeah, it's only Biggs really. He's obviously symptom-free at the minute and obviously just doing his protocols as he normally would. But as far as I'm understanding, hopefully he'll be ready to go by the time we play Fiji. So that's obviously good news, and just some bumps and bruises, so normal stuff really you'd have from a test match of that size.
He mentioned he's come through the tests okay. Does he look his usual self in training?
Well, yeah, we haven't done anything since, but he's fine, you know, so he's pretty good around the team room and stuff and that. He's normal Biggs, banter and stuff, so yeah, no, he'd be fine. How big a boost would that be for that Fiji game? Because he has been such a pivotal player the last few months. Well, of course, yeah, he's an outstanding rugby player, he's a world-class rugby player, so he's a huge part of our team and the way we like to play the game. But, you know, I think we've got to, you know, not forget how good Rhys Patchell was as well when he came on, how good a player he is as well. So we're quite lucky to have, you know, the strength and depth that we have in our squad. So yeah, no, Big's obviously a huge part for us. We only got 2 10s, but they're both, you know, vitally important to us. Yeah, just on Rhys's performance against Australia, is that the best you've seen him play in a Welsh shirt? No, he was excellent. In a game of that size, you know, you could probably say yes. But in other games that he's played for us, he was exceptional last summer in Argentina. Six Nations Cup year ago in Scotland, he played very well. Learning curve a week later against England, at Twickenham. But no, look, he was excellent Saturday, and his kicking was excellent, his goal kicking was very good, and his all-round game was excellent, and his defence as well was pretty good on Sunday as well. So look, he had an excellent game, and you know, he come on and played the game that we wanted to play and put us in the right areas, and obviously got us the lead that we needed.
So some good news there on Dan Biggar, who appears to be fit for that Fiji game. Rugby correspondents Simon Thomas and Andy Howell are with me to look at that and the other issues. Please do get your questions in for the guys, and we'll try and address some of them throughout the show. Guys, the news then on Dan Biggar looks positive, showing no signs of concussion. Obviously still a few steps to go. Fit for Fiji, so does he play?
I think he will. I think, you know, all along our assumption going into this tournament was that Wales would go full throttle against Fiji, the game that will really sort of seal the group for them. So I expect them still to go with the strongest possible team. And given that Dan Biggar, they're saying, is on the road to full recovery and looked pretty much okay, you know, sitting on the sidelines during the Australia game. So I personally would expect him to play. Yes, whether he should or not. Don't know if Andy's.
Well, I would pick Rhys Patchell. Not because of Biggar's form, because he was excellent before he went off in Australia game, but I would pick Patchell simply because he came on that game. He grew in confidence by the minute, and the more minutes he has on the park, the better. Fiji are already out of this tournament, and you know, particularly if they lose to Georgia in the meantime, they might be on holiday when they play Wales. But Patchell, let him carry on. And if he carries on that great form, it gives Wales an headache for the bigger challenges ahead. But also, even if they revert to Biggar later in the tournament, Patchell, he will still have that confidence from the time he's out in the park. He played so well when he came on, and his goal kicking was excellent. I had to drop him.
I still think the plan will be start with Biggar in this, get the job done. Patchell comes on, gets another 25-30 minutes, and then Patchell starts against Uruguay. That's what I think will happen anyway.
Is the Fiji game not still a banana skin then? You've been telling us for weeks how we need to watch out for Fiji. And
it's a banana skin, but you know, it's a mix of, you know, Dan Biggar or Rhys Patchell. There's nothing between them on form at this World Cup. So what I'm saying is, you've got two players like New Zealand, both Barrett and Richie Mo'unga. Doesn't matter who plays; they're both top players. Now Patchell, against Australia, proved he's a top player. You know, he was back to the form of as he showed it in Argentina last year. So why not play him? You know, the more time he has, the better. Because we all know Dan Biggar. It doesn't matter if Dan Biggar didn't play in the next 2 games. The next time he played, it's just the same old Dan Biggar.
The interesting thing
full of confidence.
The interesting thing for me, Andy, is that you're going up against the Fijian side. Whether they're, you know, they've played as well as we thought they might at this World Cup, whether they're out of it, they're still hard hitters. Bottier in the centre has put some of the biggest hits in there. I'm just thinking, both our fly halves have recently had sort of HI issues. So well documented in Rhys Patchell's situation. Dan Biggar's just come off one of them's going to have to take the big hits off them.
That's why I won risk bigger in this game.
That's an interesting point.
Does that go for us?
I would have him on the bench as insurance.
Do you not wrap up Alan Wynne-Jones in cotton wool now until the quarterfinals?
No, because Alan Wynne-Jones is a better player the more often he plays, which he says himself, because he's rhythm, and I don't think, Alan Wynne-Jones is such an inspirational figure. He wants to play every game, doesn't want to go off. Just let him carry on.
To me, if they do make changes to this Fiji game, John, it shows that as the tournament's gone on, they've changed their tack a little bit, and they thought, well, we're really going well here. We can beat Fiji with like a 2/3 team. Let's keep a couple of people in reserve. It'll be an interesting selection.
That's because we're in an unexpected situation. Fiji losing to Uruguay.
Yeah.
Nobody expected that, so Fiji opened the door for us.
Yeah, okay.
To do a slight bit of tinkering.
Yeah, let's have a quick question then on the team from Harley Worthy on Facebook, who says, who, if any, of the as yet unseen players may get a chance on the bench, do you think?
On the bench, I mean, you could have a situation where someone like Lee Halfpenny possibly starts, because we're waiting obviously on the news on Liam Williams' rolled ankle. That can take a few days to sort itself out. Halfpenny's such a sort of solid person to come in, so that he could in theory come into the side. Anybody else?
Yeah, Adam Beard, because obviously he's missed the start of the tournament through appendicitis, so he's been unseen. I believe he may actually start this match. If he doesn't start, if he's fit, I'm sure he will be on the bench. As regards the other fringe players, your Amoses, your James Davis, etc., you will see them against Uruguay.
Okay, then let's move on to another topic then. Stephen Jones, the influence of Stephen Jones, who obviously is now with the squad after replacing Rob Howley. Quite a few people impressed by Wales' back play against Australia. Is it fair to start saying, oh look, Stephen Jones is making the difference? People like to do that, don't they? People have had a thing about putting Rob Howley down and all the rest of it. Were there different things you noticed in that game?
It's really hard to know, because you don't know whether they had these things up their sleeves already. Was this going to be part of the plan? And Stephen's just come in and has enacted and enabled them. But it did look slightly different to me. I mean, there did seem to be, in terms of the give and take and going wider, we seem to play a slightly wider game. We've seen more recently with Tipperick, as we've said before, turning up in those outside channels. Ken Owens was in wide channels, supplementing the backs as well. There just seemed a willingness to put the ball through hand, and we do have weapons out wide.
Yeah, it's a standard practice for any hooker and any rugby team at pro level to stand out wide if you've got a good ball. They look at New Zealand, Dinko's example. Well, they use him as an extra back. Wales use Justin Tipuric is used more in the wider channels. In that game, you saw his handling skills, ability to straighten draw people and put the ball away. Yeah, Wales played a bit wider. But when you look at the Gatland era, actually some of the best rugby Wales have played is when they've been chasing games. Think of England World Cup 2015, then the following Six Nations games in that tournament against England, Wales were well behind and they had to chase the game, and they actually looked so dangerous then. And sometimes I wonder, is that their natural game? You get the best out of your Jonathan Davis, etc. And Wales look a good team when they move the ball. Of course, you got that platform which they had in the first half, but never in the second half against Australia.
The handling did look sharp, it has to be said, and that's encouraging moving forward with the tournament. Really.
And Jones, but maybe important for somebody like Rhys Patchell, who he knows so well.
Yeah, as I said before, Stephen Jones is the kind of bloke who comes in and will just, through his sense of personality and his force of nature and his positivity, will just make you feel good about life, and he will have come in, and the boys will enjoy working with him, and you can see that there's a real kind of spirit of happiness in this team, it seems to me.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, let's have a couple more questions then before we move on. Kate McLeod here says, which Tier 2 nation do you see as the most dangerous? Who's impressed you,
Japan.
aside from Japan?
Well, they are Tier 2, mine.
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to take you beyond Japan.
Well, in fairness, Uruguay Uruguay, they caused that sensation, and Georgia are a good team. I think they were Wales benefited in the first half against them because Georgia suffered opening night nerves and that, but they are a good side who will give teams problems.
I'd agree with Georgia, because they've got Fiji coming up now, and that's going to be no easy game for Fiji. Will have come a cropper against Uruguay as well, and if Georgia win that game, they're guaranteed entry into the next World Cup. So that's really their World Cup final now. And I think Georgia, they look decent. They give Wales a few problems in that second half, and we talked about them pushing hard for Six Nations inclusion. They are really making a good account of themselves.
If Georgia beat Fiji, they're still in the end in this group
with Australia to come. Give Australia a physical game.
We'd enjoy that, wouldn't we?
Okay,
one here then from Alan C, I think. He says, "Hi guys, here in Barcelona. What's your thoughts on giving Georgia North a go in the centre? Give us a different option." I know this is something that's been toyed with, thought about in the past.
Well, it's happened in the past on 3-4 occasions. No, I don't think so. Yeah, he's okay going forward and all with the ball. Perhaps he hasn't got those handling skills of a centre, and his question marks over his defence.
Did he get more involved for you? Better performance than against?
He was, and I think on that centre issue, if you look at the first game against Georgia, where Halfpenny was on the bench rather than Wayne Watkin, clearly North was still the centre option there, so it's part of the planning. It's been dabbled with occasionally over the years, but I mean, I thought he's played pretty well in this tournament. He took his try well against Georgia.
Played well against Australia?
Yeah, I thought he was decent, you know. Yeah, I think, and if George North is firing, wing or centre, he's such a weapon for Wales.
You know, the bloke to consider starting in the centre is Owen Watkin. Did really well off the bench, and Wales had defensive issues against Australia.
6 tackles, is that?
Parks missed 6, Jonathan Davis made 4, missed 4. So Australia, like England did at Twickenham in the World Cup warm-up, attacked out that channel and had some joy. Other teams will be looking at that. Sean Edwards needs to fix it.
Okay, fair enough. Well then, Matt Davis, Simon, for you quickly then before we go on to our last topic. Who has been your standout Welsh player of the World Cup so far?
Justin Tipuric. Both games, and I think in particular the Australia game, was an absolutely complete performance. 17 tackles, caused havoc at the breakdown, negating the influence of Hooper and Pocock. Was our main source, practically the only source of line-out ball, and just his work and his handling and his linking the outside side. You couldn't have asked much for from an open side. He's been the open side of the tournament and Wales' player of the tournament so far.
Okay, Andy, quickly.
I'm going to go just be different. Gareth Davis, I think he's playing the best rugby of his life at scrum half.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Final topic then. Obviously Wales look like they're going to qualify from the group. I think we can safely say that. What about those 2 groups then elsewhere that look so close to call, don't they? In England's group and that Ireland-Japan one particularly. Let's maybe start there. What's going to happen in that group after Scotland's group?
Andy has got his wall chart out, so we know now it's got serious, don't we? I mean, basically you've got 2 groups, I think pretty much decided. You're going to see Wales and Australia go through from Pool D, and you're going to see New Zealand and South Africa definitely go through from their group. The other 2 are hard to call, and basically it's coming down to 2 from 3. In the one group you've got Ireland, Scotland and Japan vying for qualification, and then the other England, France and Argentina. I still think it'll be Ireland and Scotland from the one group and England and France from the other.
Really?
I think Japan will win that group.
You think they'll beat Scotland?
Win the group?
As I said before the tournament, they will beat Scotland. Sticking there's a potential spoiler in their group, mine. Samoa. Japan got a tougher run in now, even though they got a lot of days between matches. They are playing Samoa next, and Samoa could be a bit of a spoiler, even though Scotland put them away. Japan, Scotland couldn't be any better, could it? It's the final match of the group stage, and it's all going to be on that game. You suspect winner take all, probably. I hope Japan go through, because I think they deserve it, because they play some great rugby.
Don't you think that, Andy, yesterday we did see signs of Scotland getting it together a bit?
Yeah, we did, but Japan, Japan are a really good team. People ask Japan, does that mean they can be a good team? They are a good team. They're up and coming, and they're the host of the tournament. They're fit and as fit as anyone else. And most importantly of all, perhaps, they're used to playing in humidity. Yeah,
I think it's a great way for the group stage to finish, and it's a hard game to call. It's just slightly edged towards Scotland winning it.
Quickly then on Pool C, the other pool, which is the important one from a Welsh perspective, because it decides who Wales will play in the quarterfinals. England long been tipped to top that group. Still a lot of rugby to be played.
England, of course, haven't played the 2 best opponents.
No, indeed.
France and Argentina next, and then for France, a potential group decider, because France is England and France. But I said that, but it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't be totally surprised if England go out.
England and France for me, but you never know.
You never know. Fingers crossed. Okay, thanks guys. We'll leave it there for today. Thank you for joining us once again. Thanks for all your questions. We'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place. So we'll see you then. Take care.